right now, we're at the Park Hotel. We're protesting on the 1st of April. This is after the refugee deal with New Zealand has been announced. There's going to be, the deal really entails like a couple of hundred refugees, being, granted, freedom and, going to New Zealand. But I really think that, this deal is like not good enough at all. It's a pretty measly sort of concession to refugees who have been fighting for their freedom for almost 10 years now. So I think that we have to continue to come out on the streets week after week to help fight alongside and in solidarity with refugees, because I think that until every refugee is free, then we're not free at all. No one's free. And so I think that everyone should get involved with the campaign against racism and fascism and get involved with the fight to free the Park Hotel refugees and to end refugee torture indefinitely.
Free the refugees! 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 Free the refugees!
Hi, we're out here today fighting for refugee rights. The New Zealand deal is a total disgrace. It actually won't mean anything to most of the refugees locked up here in Park Hotel and all of the other refugees that Australia is torturing. We want to see an end to all forms of detention, get rid of every single detention centre and let all refugees come here. No one is illegal. Free the refugees.
So this refugee protest is just passing us by and you've just seen it. What do you think of it?
It was an incredible protest for a really worthy cause.
Do you know about the refugees and asylum seekers that are detained in the Park Hotel?
No, I didn't.
Well, that's where we've just come from.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what they're protesting for, yeah. So, pretty impressive, hey?
Yeah, very impressive.
When refugees are under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back! What do we do? Stand up, fight back! What do we do? Stand up, fight back!
Refugees locked up in the Park Hotel. There's still hundreds of refugees locked up across the Australian border regime. There's still thousands of refugees on precarious visas, so there's still a fight to be had.
Free the refugees! Free the refugees! Free the refugees! Free the refugees! Say it loud, say it clear! Refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear! Refugees are welcome here! Say it loud, say it clear! Refugees are welcome here! Refugees are welcome here!
So just a couple weeks ago, there was a man named Mohsen who had been in torturous conditions in the Australian detention system for 9 years. And finally that Australian border regime murdered him. And he joins the list of hundreds of refugees who have been murdered under the brutal conditions of this regime. And that's one of the reasons that we keep fighting for the 22 refugees that are still locked in this hotel, and for the hundreds of refugees who are still across the detention system, and for the thousands of refugees on precarious visas, because we know that if we allow the government to get away with murder like this, with lowering the bar of acceptable conduct by the government to humans, that's what could happen to any of us. And that's why we fight in solidarity with all these refugees. And we keep fighting because they keep fighting.
Stand up,
like the rally's over now, Jerem, and have you got some points to make about today's rally?
Well, just like I'm sure other people have already covered, the inadequacies of the New Zealand so-called solution. So I won't go into all of that. Like, even to get that much movement, even to get, you know, the promise of freedom for 450 people has taken so much battling by so many people inside the detention centre and outside as well. And, you know, sometimes it's a big crowd, sometimes it's a smaller crowd, sometimes it's a big set piece like Palm Sunday, sometimes it's just a ragtag on a Friday afternoon. There's nothing wrong with that, but it all adds up to the resistance that we need to keep this issue in front of the people of Melbourne here, and to keep this issue in front of the refugees there, so that they know that there's people fighting for them on the outside, and to keep demonstrating, for the refugees and for human rights, also for ourselves. Because if we lower the bar on human rights that low, that the bar on human rights is you rock up to this country with nothing, asking for a better life, and you get locked up potentially forever, indefinitely, no charge, no trial. That's the bar for human rights for the whole country. So we've all got a stake in this. It's great to see a bit of a crowd, and we'll build on it.
So Emma, the rally for the refugees and asylum seekers detained in the Park Hotel finished an hour ago, and you were part of that protest, and I believe you got some breaking news.
Yeah, we've just found out that 10 of the refugees locked up at the Park Hotel have just won their freedom, and also 4 have been released from the Broadmeadows Detention Centre, 2 up in Sydney, and another 2 also released in Brisbane. And this is, a real victory. But the fight continues for the 5 refugees who are still locked up at the Park Hotel, and the hundreds more who are still locked up across detention centres on and off, Australian shores. And we still fight, for the right for these refugees to get full citizenship rather than just bridging visas, and all the rest.